Hello, Maximus here with a replay commentary. The Battle of the Statue of Zeus at Olympia between Carthago, I'm commanding the Carthaginians, and Macedon, or Macedon. Here's the statue, in case I wondered for a time where the statue actually was, since I only could see this building, but there he is, inside of here. So, what I'm going to try to do here, I see that my opponent is positioned in the woods down here, so I'm going to try to move up, take the high ground, and gain the advantage of fighting downhill. So I want to post my guys here and slowly move the line down towards the woods. Now my opponent has the advantage of better coverage for his units, but I have the advantage, the downhill advantage, and the advantage of elevation for my skirmishers. So hopefully that will allow me to gain enough of a skirmishing advantage that I can take out these guys, because I see that he has, here are these mercenary Cretans coming up, 3 of those, and they can defeat my Balearic slingers if I'm not careful. Companion cavalry and skirmisher cavalry. There are also some Rhodian slingers here, which are on par with my Balearics, very good slinger units. And here we can see some more Tarentine cavalry. So I think, because here we can also see some shield bearers moving up, I think the reason why my opponent picked this build is because he was expecting elephants, in which case having some Tarentines and a lot of skirmishers can be really helpful. And you don't really expect much from the cavalry of Carthage because it's very lackluster, so their strength is somewhat in their skirmishing and their elephants, but in the recent patch I think their kind of mid-range infantry is very viable as well. Libyan infantry, pretty decent melee infantry, and Carthaginian hoplites, they can hold the line fairly well. Now the reason why I'm setting up like this is obviously to protect my skirmishers with the first line of hoplites, but these Libyan infantry at the back also protect from any potential cavalry coming around, and the same for these Iberian swordsmen. However, once the engagement starts, I want my opponent to smash into my hoplites. I'll go into hoplite phalanx, and when this formation contracts, gets narrower, it will allow me to shoot with the Libyan infantry. They can fire at will with their javelins at the units that start piling around the hoplite formation. So quite effective if you're able to force the engagement, which I plan to do. So here he's put his man up in a phalanx, shield bearers. I'm not going to waste any shots on them. Good armor, good shield, and they are in a forest, so that would be a huge waste of my ammunition, which I definitely will need later. Because we have these Cretans and these Rhodians. Now I have a fairly wide formation. I don't want any nasty surprises to be able to come out of the woods. Here or here, some Aspis companions coming through could do a lot of damage to my skirmishers. So I want to be as wide as possible here, and also to limit the damage coming in from missiles. 2-man formation will take a lot less casualties by missiles from the front, so I kind of want to entice him into using his missiles on these guys instead of on my skirmishers. So I'm pushing forward, just posting up really close to my opponent here. He's going into wedge formation, don't know why. He's moving up with his Tarentine cavalry, which is a huge mistake. Juicy targets from my Balearic slingers. They'll start firing here. And he had his guy on flaming shot, so that's more of a giveaway that he was expecting elephants, I think. But as you can see, just heavy shot raining down on his guys. They don't like it much, so they are going to retreat, and flaming shot doesn't do much damage nowadays, as you can see. Good against elephants and morale, not much else. So he is bringing up his skirmishers, but he makes a mistake by having them all bunched up like this. Now I'm starting to take some casualties among hoplites by these skirmishers, but them being in a bunched up like this makes their fire less effective, and it makes it so that when I'm shooting, I'm able to shoot both this skirmisher cavalry. I'm focusing fire on this unit of Cretan archers, but the fire will hit in this general area, which means that he will get casualties on all of his units stationed here. So he probably should stretch out his lines as much as possible, similarly to what I'm doing. Gives the maximum firepower, and there really isn't a downside to doing this with your skirmishers. So now he's pushing his guys up, probably going to try to get some shots on these guys, so I'm putting on fast reload when he's out of the woods to increase the casualties. And as he does this, I'm going to push him back a bit with these mercenary Iberian swords, because I want to... what this does is that it allows me to keep shooting with my skirmishers while his skirmishers are moving and not doing any damage. So here we go, killing off his Cretans quite nicely. Phalanx is holding strong, but some guys are getting hit by taking collateral damage. So now he's probably had enough of this skirmish engagement, and he's going to try to engage me here. And of course, moving uphill and just engaging piecemeal like this is not the way to do it. I'm just going to pour javelin fire into his flanks here. It is his shielded flanks, but he's going to take some casualties even so. I'm just moving my skirmishers away a bit, and as soon as he makes contact with my lines, I'm just going to allow him to fight this line for a little bit, and then I'm going to give the order to go into hoplite phalanx, because as you'll see here, still shooting at his skirmishers with my barbaric slingers. So when I'm going into hoplite phalanx, this will open up avenues of attack for my Libyan infantry, and now they can fire straight into these guys here. So although they are superior troops, they are going to start getting hammered. Look at that guy, has a javelin stuck through him already, here as well. So they are taking damage both from these hoplites and also from the javelin fire of my Libyan skirmishers. I quite like this setup. And it will make the hoplites last a bit longer. And as you can see, they're able to throw point blank into these guys, and they are taking some casualties. Not a huge amount of casualties, and the Libyan infantry only has about 2 javelins. But as you can see, it's already decimated this unit fairly effectively. So now I'm going to send my Iberian swords for a rear charge, and that's going to be the end of this unit of shield bearers. Now he's, I don't know if he's kind of panicking or he's just enticed by this juicy little sword unit, but he's charging the Iberian swords and shooting at them at the same time, which is fine. They've done their job already. So this enables me to start shooting at his general, and as you'll see, his companions, they don't have shields, so they will start dying very quickly to skirmisher fire. I'm just chasing with these Iberian swords, chasing away his skirmishers for a bit. And here the shield bearers are starting to take casualties. I'm bringing in these guys, and they are going to start throwing their javelins at the unprotected side, which is going to make for some very dead shield bearers. His general is wavering already, and well, I suppose this battle is a bit boring to watch, but I thought it would be interesting for 2 main reasons. One being that I think this build was picked specifically to counter elephants, and another reason is that it shows you how not to use skirmishers. So bunched up like this, you can see his Cretans are barely getting kills, and they're getting hammered by a slingshot. And these Rhodian slingers are getting a few more kills, but nothing substantial, and compare that to mine, 133, 134, and 79. The Libyan infantry that are firing, they don't get many kills, but they do get 10 kills from expending their... This Libyan infantry got a few more kills. But still, kills are kills, and it helps. So this is all the infantry my opponent brought. And here you can see his problem. He doesn't have a cavalry advantage, not a decided cavalry advantage, because a lot of his cavalry is skirmisher cavalry. He had the skirmishing advantage, but he wasn't able to use that effectively, and it's hard to use this effectively because I could have been pushing him all day with this formation. And now he's charging in his skirmishers, which will die fairly quickly to my Libyan infantry, and because he's firing at his own men there, they're going to waver that much faster. Carthaginian cavalry coming in, and this Tarentine cavalry with a morale now of only 45 is going down. Over here my Iberian swords are losing to these shield bearers, but they are holding for a little while, which allows me to get this Libyan infantry into the mix. And my skirmishers keep firing, almost at 200 kills now, and all high value kills, so that's pretty good. Swords are wavering after getting 32 kills against these shield bearers, which is fine. Here I'm able to start wrapping up the lines fairly quickly. And with this build, it would have been very difficult for my opponent to do much, I think. Still, he made a few mistakes that it could be nice to learn from. And there we go, the last of the shield bearers die, and that was a decisive victory. Mainly, I feel a composition victory and a strategic victory, because this build is going to have a whole lot of problems contending with this type of build. Now, 5 shield bearers are a strong infantry force. 5 of these high level skirmishers are very strong if they're able to do their work, but they weren't able to. So as you can see, more than half my kills came from these skirmishers alone, and then the rest are from the Libyan infantry and the mercenary Iberians against the shield bearers. So what a quite fun battle where I was able to use my army effectively. Good game to my opponent, antopi2003, which could mean he was potentially 9 years old, and now I feel, well, not 9 years old, 11 years old, and now I feel bad. So Antopi, if you're watching this, you could have done slightly better with the build that you brought, but the general idea wasn't bad considering you went up against Carthage. Maybe some more mid-range troops, and remember to spread out your skirmishers. Don't bunch them up and just give attack orders. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the battlefield.